Isaac Newton is perhaps one of the most influential scientists in history, who shaped our modern understanding of the natural world with his groundbreaking theories. However, he had some strange habits that are often discussed among people. So follow me till the end. There are many surprising facts about him you should know. Born in England on January 4, 1643, Isaac Newton was the only child of a farming family whose father died 3 months before he was born. Isaac's mother remarried when he was 2 years, and the young child was left in the care of his grandmother. From an early age, young Newton showed an interest in mechanics and building toys, and was fascinated by the workings of machines. As a result, Newton was sent to the King's School in Grantham, where he excelled in academics, particularly in mathematics. However, at one point his mother tried to take him out of school so he could help on the farm, but Isaac had no interest in becoming a farmer and was soon back to school. As he was always among the top students in school, his uncle, a graduate of the University of Cambridge's Trinity College, convinced Newton's mother to have him enter the university. As a result, Newton enrolled at the University of Cambridge in 1661, but this was just the beginning of his bright future, as the scientific revolution of the 17th century was already in full force, and many of the foundational works of the modern science had already been published around the same time. During his first 3 years at Cambridge, Newton was taught the standard curriculum, but he was also fascinated by more advanced science. So he posed a series of questions to himself while he was a student at Cambridge, which later became the foundation for some of his most important works. These questions were compiled in a document known as the Quaestiones, which demonstrated the depth of Newton's thinking and laid the groundwork for many of his later discoveries and theories. However, at the same time, a frightening disease was spreading throughout Europe. The Great Plague, which forced the university temporarily closed from 1665 to 1667 and made Newton to return to his family home. 2 magical years of solitude allowed Newton to focus on many of his significant discoveries that would ultimately shape his brilliant future, including the theories of calculus, optics, and the law of gravitation. It was also during this period that Newton experienced his famous inspiration of gravity with the falling apple, which according to the common myth, after an apple fell and hit his head, he suddenly came up with the theory of gravity, which would become one of the most important ideas in the history of science. Newton returned to Cambridge in 1667 and unveiled one of his most important inventions, the design and construction of reflecting telescope that utilized mirror to reflect light and form an image. An innovation that represented a major advance in telescope technology, as it eliminated the problem of chromatic aberration, and nearly all of the major telescopes used in astronomy today are of this type. Also throughout his life, Isaac Newton made many of the world's most important discoveries and inventions, such as Newton's 3 laws of motion, which was published in Principia, and is said to be the single most influential books on physics and possibly all of science, which immediately raised Newton to international prominence. The law of universal gravitation, which explained how all objects in the universe are attracted to one another. The publication of Newton's optics in 1672, in which Newton conducted experiments with prisms and discovered that white light was made up of a spectrum of 7 colors, and it led to advancement of lens and filter technology, and many others that paved the way for lots of scientific advancement in the future. Newton passed away on March 31, 1727 in London, England. He was a deeply religious man who never married and had no children. He chose a life of solitude and devoted much of his time to his scientific work. Today he is considered one of the most influential scientists of all time, alongside greats such as Albert Einstein, Aristotle and Galileo, and his legacy continues to astonish and inspire many scientists to this day. So let me finish this video with Newton's most famous and inspiring quotes. But first make sure to subscribe and press the like button in 3, 2, 1. So more people can watch this video and learn about this great man of science. If I've seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. I do not know what I may appear to the world, but to myself I seem to have been only like a boy playing on the seashore, and diverting myself in now and then finding a smoother pebble or a prettier shell than ordinary, whilst the great ocean of truth lay all undiscovered before me. Truth is the offspring of silence and meditation. I keep the subject constantly before me and wait till the first dawning opens slowly, by little and little, into a full and clear light. If others would think as hard as I did, then they would get similar results. What we know is a drop, and what we don't know is an ocean. Gravity explains the motion of the planets, but it cannot explain who sets the planets in motion. My powers are ordinary. Only my application brings me success. And to every action, there is always an equal, an opposite, or contrary reaction.